And I'm graduating with my bachelor in accounting. So hyped today, I love it. Just so you guys know, I'm actually going to be joining the Chi Alpha staff. So I will be a CMIT intern. I'm so excited to see where the Lord takes me on this journey. So just a little bit about me. From the very beginning of my college journey, like the first couple weeks of college, freshman year, I was all in for Chi Alpha. I jumped right in, and I was at all of the hangouts, even if they were up until 2 in the morning, even though I commuted from St. Petersburg. I didn't live here. I commuted, I drove. I joined the leadership team and the worship team the first semester, even though I had a class on Tuesday nights. I could not come to Chi Alpha large group. And I remember being so eager in small group that Casey jokingly banned me to pray because I volunteered every single time to pray. And so I remember that from the start, Chi Alpha, I just immediately felt the presence and the love of Jesus so tangibly and so undeniably. And looking back, I can confidently say that the girl who first walked onto this campus 4 years ago is not the same girl that you see here today. And God has changed me, He has grown me, He has stretched me, loved me, refined me, and He's used Chi Alpha to do so. And so Chi Alpha has been more than just a group, it's more than a weekly meeting. It's my home, and it's been my family. So it's been one of the greatest blessings of my life. And I just want to say really quick thank you to Casey and Stephen for just all that you do, for pouring your hearts into this ministry. Thank you for saying yes to God, and thank you for seeing students like me and for helping us walk with Him. I'm so deeply grateful for everything that you guys have done and poured into this ministry. And my life has changed because of it. So of everything that I've experienced here, the thing that's marked me the most has probably been discipleship through small groups. That's where it all started. That's where I first felt like I truly belonged for the first time. Small group taught me how to read my Bible more consistently. It taught me how to be vulnerable. It taught me how to let people in and to not carry things by myself. It gave me a space to grow. It gave me people to walk through both the joys and the heartbreaks of life. And while I wish that I could say that college was all great rainbows and butterflies and mountaintops and all that stuff, it definitely wasn't. There were some really hard seasons, and there were some nights that were filled with questions and pain and loneliness. But praise God that I never ever had to walk through it alone, ever. And one of the verses that I love so much is James 1:2-4, where it says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." And I clung to those verses, guys, more than you can count. And I want to leave them with you too, because your trials and your tribulations are not wasted. Let perseverance finish its work, because God is doing something bigger. And as I close, I just want to leave you with one final thought, which is you will never be in this exact place in your life ever again. So please don't rush past it. Don't look for what's next so much that you miss the beauty of what's going on right now, because life goes by so fast. So slow down, be present, and let God shape you where you are, because there's no expectation or timeline that you need to meet for Him to move in your life. And I wish that I lived that out more in my college career. He's doing something good right here, right now, even if it doesn't feel like it sometimes. So just trust Him. And I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being my family these past 4 years. And I'm very excited to continue with Chi Alpha. So I'll still be here next year. But yeah, that's kind of a little bit about me.
Hello everyone. My name is Perla Ortiz. I am from the Dominican Republic. And I am graduating this semester with a bachelor in microbiology. After that, in August, I'm going to start dental school at USF. Today, I would like to tell you a little bit about my story and how I came to USF and US in general. So, first of all, I have to say that Chi Alpha has been the best gift God has given me since moving to the US and in USF in general. Moving to a new country challenges everything you know about yourself. When I came to the US, I was not expecting to stay more than 2 weeks, but God had other plans for me. I remember during my first semester at USF, I felt extremely lonely. I was ashamed and fearful of speaking to others, since I was not super fluent in the language. I was not familiar with the social and cultural customs here, and also having to unexpectedly be separated from my mom and family, my friends, my church, really made me feel like a fish out of the water. This led me to start feeling like I was never going to eat and that I was unlikely. During this time, I always stayed close to God, and one day, while I was having lunch, alone of course, a girl came up to me and prayed for me, and she prayed specifically for the loneliness I was feeling, even though I never told her I was feeling alone. So I really felt like God really guided her to speak to me specifically. And she kind of like prophesied that God was going to provide me with a group of friends, godly friends. And I accepted that word with faith, and today I can say that Chi Alpha is the answer to my prayers and to that word that that girl gave to me. When I say Chi Alpha has been a blessing to me, I'm actually talking about each one of you guys. I want to thank God first for leading me to be part of this ministry and for all the spiritual blessings I have received. But I also want to acknowledge each one of you and how your love that comes from God has impacted my life. I think of you as living testimonies of God's love and grace.
But I started coming to, well, first, I'm graduating with a bachelor's degree in health sciences. And I'll be attending nursing school at FAU in the fall. I started coming to Chi Alpha last spring. At the time, I was not in a great relationship with God. I was very distant. I was very lonely in many aspects because I didn't have any faith-centered friends, any friends who were trying to walk with God. And then one day, I'm scrolling on Instagram, and Rosa is posting about Chi Alpha. And so I text her, and I'm like, how is it? What do you think about it? Because I've tried other ministry groups, and I've never found anything that made me feel at home, made me feel that warmth. And she brought me one Tuesday, and I've been here ever since. You guys have welcomed me, showed me love, kindness. It's been so fun getting to know you all, getting to learn that being a Christian can be fun, you can do things, we can have a great time. And I've grown so much, and I've grown such a beautiful community with my small group girls. And I absolutely adore each and every one of them, and I've loved watching them grow and succeed. And they've watched me grow, and I love having people there to celebrate my wins like I've celebrated theirs. And I'm so thankful for the community that I've built here, that I know that even though I won't be here next fall, but I know all of you will be supporting me, and I'll be supporting each of you. And I just thank you for the warmth and the love you guys have given me.
My name is Amari, like they said, but I didn't put my last name up there. And I have had the privilege of being part of Chi Alpha since fall of 2023. So before I came to Chi Alpha, I did grow up in church. I will say it all the time when you meet me. I grew up in a black church, so I know the ins and outs of the Bible and like the structure of the church, and I was kind of used to everything. But when I came to USF in general, I came with grief after losing people from COVID-19. I came with anxiety and just an overall depression that I just refused to acknowledge. And I like to consider that for some time I was kind of like passively suicidal. But you know, sorry, I came to college and I was like, I'm in a new environment and I was hoping to make friends, but my entire first year I met nobody. I mean, like I met some people, but I didn't have any friends, so I went to cafeteria alone. I studied in my room. I tried to talk to people, but the friendships never stuck. And I was just by myself. And like, was I lonely? Sure, maybe. But like, I was okay because like the pandemic kind of like made me tough in a bad way. But then after my first year, Rosa introduced me to Chi Alpha, like she introduces everyone to Chi Alpha. And I was a little scared because my first semester at USF, I had a terrible interaction with one of the other student ministries here. And I was just like, because of the church environment I grew up in, I was kind of scared to go to any church that had diversity, which is kind of a weird thing to say, but I was like, kind of like, I hope Rosa's not like brainwashed type girl. She wasn't very good. So yeah, Rosa invited me to Chi Alpha. They got me that night, and then my first Bible study was like the boys and the girls with Stephen's group and Rosa's group, and Stephen, and then eventually Jason kind of welcomed me with like very open arms, and I was just like very comfortable. So coming to Chi Alpha has just like given me so many friends, and I'll never forget the memories that I made here. All the small group girls from last year and this year, just being impulsive with Carla. Woo! And just doing all the things I just love to do. JoJo putting me onto the sequence of the Marvel movies. Like, you guys are looking just like dope people. And yeah, from the times, actually I already said that. One of the most important things that I've kind of learned since being here, just at school, I kind of learned a lot. For me, it really wasn't learning about the Bible, but it was really God exposing my heart. He showed me over the years that I didn't love him, but I just knew him. The Lord exposed that like, I'm kind of like, not kind of, but I am a know-it-all sometimes. And he just kind of exposed me and kind of broke my heart a little bit and just kind of showed me the things that was breaking his heart. And that's the only way that you get to grow. So I learned that from God, but most importantly, God provided for me all 3 years and graduated with a student loan debt. Not only that, but for like all the way up until March, I was not going to go to school. I was going to gap year, but the Lord provided in the sense that now I will be moving to Miami Shores to go to grad school for school psychology. A lot of this is all just God's timing. It's nothing I could have thought of. And to just kind of end it, for some of you, I will never see you again. I did not mean to like you. I was like, in reality, some of you I never knew, some of you I'll never see again, for some of you it will just be a while. But no matter what that may look like between you and I, my advice to all of you is to just continue to chase your dreams, listen to and obey God, and let your light shine. But no matter what, and I can't believe I'm saying this, I will always love you guys.
What's up? So, you know, sometimes I get a little bit nervous about public speaking, but then I remember that Moses had a speech problem too, and God still used him to split a whole sea. So, if I start stuttering up here, maybe a miracle is about to happen. So keep your eyes open. Just in case. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Camilo, and I'll be graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Cybersecurity. I promise not to hack into your Instagram accounts, like my buddy Joel, but it's also in cybersecurity. Just kidding. Yeah, so I actually joined Chi Alpha pretty recently, just this past November, and I feel like I snuck into the party in the very last second, but man, I'm so glad I did. Chi Alpha has taught me a lot, and I still remember my first large group walking into a room without knowing what I was getting into, yet somehow feeling like I belong there. And it was one of those weird moments where strangers feel like family right away, to be honest. Part of me, of course, wishes that I had joined Chi Alpha much earlier and not in the very last year of college at USF. But you know, better late than never. And even better when it's God's perfect time, right? Now, I want to take a moment to thank some people that made a huge difference in my time here. Jojo, Riley, thank you so much for inviting me into a small group, for showing me that following God is not meant to be a solo mission, but a community thing, to help one another grow together and laugh way too hard at things like random phrases written in Korean, playing jackpots. You know what I'm talking about? Or just everything funny and crazy Eddie says. I also want to thank Pastor Stephen and Pastor Casey. It's so obvious how much heart you pour into this ministry. And you make everyone feel loved, seen, known, and that's not easy to do. And to every single one of you, staff member, student, and friend, thank you so much for making my last year at USF unforgettable. It takes a little bit of time for me to open up and getting to know people. I'm a little bit shy at first, but then when I'm old, I will love building strong, real relationships that last. And this is not a goodbye. I'll be graduating, yes, but I will still be in the Tampa Bay area. So you'll definitely catch me popping into a large group, hanging out with everyone here, and hopefully even meeting new people at Chi Alpha. So thank you all so much for being part of my life story at USF.
Hello everyone. Chi Alpha has definitely grown since I was first here. I've been here since like fall of 2021. So right out of COVID, right when USF reopened its campus. So for that, coming right out of COVID, it was definitely a big jump for me. From high school, I took a gap year. I was working. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. So I was working there, and then me coming to the US for practically the first time, it was a definitely big major change in my life. I also came here technically by myself. I mean, I didn't have family in Florida that helped me move to Tampa, but I was in Tampa by myself. There were a couple people that I knew from back home, but not really anyone that I was close to. At that point in time, I mean, I came here. I wasn't, I said, Lord, like, whatever plans you have for me, like, you just set me onto that path. I did have a run-in with, I was a little bit wary about how US culture was. I wasn't sure about what church life was going to be like. I was very wary of it. My first run-in did happen to me with someone who said, oh, like, check these boxes, like, what do you believe in? And they told me, oh, if you don't go to church on a particular day, you're going to go to hell. That pretty much scared me a lot of US churches and what that was going to be like. And pretty much I was just around USF, you know. I wouldn't say I felt lonely. I was kind of more enjoying my experience. And one day I was just in the MSC doing some homework right outside of 2709. And I was just like, you know, finishing an essay, and I heard the worship starting. And I was like, oh, like, this music, I mean, I grew up in church, so I was listening to music. Like, okay, this, like, I mean, they're singing pretty good. So that kind of intrigued me. They're good singing, that intrigued me. So I think the person outside at the time was Kat. I'm not sure how many of you know Kat, but Kat was outside. And I said, oh, like, what is this? And Kat said, oh, like, we're in campus ministry, and she invited me in. And from then on, I mean, that's basically how I started out at Chi Alpha. Casey came up to me at the end of service, and she said, oh, where are you from? I'm from Trinidad. And she said, oh, we have another Trinidad in your group. So that's how I met in the year. I'm also not sure, but I graduated in fall of 2023, so that would have been a while back as well. But from then on, I made, like, you know, friends that I consider lifelong friends, like Nia, Kesha. I don't even remember when I met Kesha. As well as Josie and a lot more people. And from my time at Chi Alpha, I just want to say, don't rush things. Oh, sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Katarina, I'm chemical engineering as well. I'm graduating in chemical engineering. There was a lot of hiccups along the way, and I would come to Chi Alpha sometimes crying and miracle, and not the name, I'm not sure how many of you know. I'd always go and have a miracle and tell Miracle, Miracle just see like the expression on my face, and she would pray for me. And that's one thing I always look forward to in Chi Alpha was a community that I always had someone that would notice that you were off and they would pray for you and make you feel welcome. And throughout all of these changes, I would just want to say that the one constant thing in my life was God. And I'm so grateful for Chi Alpha community for bringing me closer to God, for providing me with a home church. Because of Chi Alpha, I found a rise, and that's where my family eventually moved to Tampa, and that's where we were going now. So I want to say thank you to Chi Alpha for keeping me grounded during my time here.
Alright, hello everyone. If you haven't already met me, my name is Kesha, guys. Also, I'm just gonna read the script. I'm gonna be staring at my phone the whole time. Sorry, I can if I deviate this. Okay, so alright. If you haven't already met me, my name is Kesha, and I've been a part of Chi Alpha for all of my undergrad, which is about 3 years. I'm going to graduate with my bachelor's in public health, and I'll be studying nursing school at UF with Perla. Just a few weeks, literally the day after I graduate, so much stuff is going on. I will graduate from nursing school in August of next year, and I plan to move back here and work in Tampa. I was once told during my freshman year that college goes by faster than high school, and I tell some of you guys this too. And I really do believe that that's true. So let me walk you through my crazy past few years in college and with God. In summer of 2022, I first received a message on Instagram from Chi Alpha. I'm not gonna lie though, I was kind of sketched out. Like, never in my life have I ever been messaged by a student organization. Like, have you guys ever been messaged by like a company or So I was kind of confused. But they were very conversational, and they were asking me questions about classes and if I was ready for college. And come to find out, that was Natalia. I don't know if you guys remember Natalia. That was her. But anyways, they ended up inviting me to summer large group, which was actually in Casey and Steven's house. I want you to actually give a round of applause for them, because I really don't know where I'd be without Summer Chi Alpha. Summer Chi Alpha is crazy. I probably still hate you, so thank you. Thank you, Casey and Steven. So when I first got to their door, guys, I was so scared. It was my first week. I just moved to Tampa. I don't know a soul. I was like, this could be a stranger's house. I don't know where I'm going. But I remember Casey's face on Instagram, and when I saw her open the door, I stepped into their house, and I just felt like I was at home. Steven was sharing his testimony that night, and we just spent the rest of the night praying and worshiping together. Ever since then, I knew this was the place for me. I absolutely loved leading small groups with Josie and Rosa. And also just shout out to my girls, my small group girls. That's so amazing. I love you guys so much. I loved all the deep friendships I've created in Chi Alpha. Literally every fall retreat and every event was just so memorable. And I'm so grateful that this decision to join was so worth it. When I first came here, the Lord had put in my heart to be selected with my friend group, and I'm seeing the fruit of it now. In this tough season of transitioning schools and moving, I've had so much support, and I can only thank God. If I were to give you guys some advice, I would say this: rely on the Lord daily and ask Him to open up your heart. The community that you have here or elsewhere can shape your success as a student and also as a disciple in God's kingdom. I want to encourage you to take advantage of your time here at USF and just get involved. Stay here in large group, come to small group, get involved into a small group. I want to see most of y'all here next year when I come back. Y'all better get planted. Just allow God to equip you as a leader if that's what's on your heart in this season. And most of all, use every gift that God has given you and let your light shine. I really hate goodbyes, y'all. This is definitely not a goodbye. It's a see you later. I love you all so much, and I wish the best of luck to you all.
If you don't know me, my name is Joseph Kim, and this is my 3rd year at USF, and I'll be graduating with a degree in theater performance and arts. And my first full year, I didn't even know Chi Alpha existed. I wasn't part of any campus ministry, just Cornerstone Church, and then it was not until September of my 2nd year I heard about Chi Alpha, but no one really introduced me. I actually learned through social media, and at first I didn't know if it was legit, and throughout university, and even as a theater major, I'm very shy, and I had to overcome a lot of shyness in university, and going to spring break missions trip back-to-back years helped me get out of my shell. And also, an advice I like to give to all 1st and 2nd year students is just continue to explore out on campus, not just to stay in your dorm room watching TV and stuff. At least every other day there's something special happening on campus that you don't want to miss out on. I admit my first year,
Got it.
I wasn't out there, I was just stuck in my dorm room. And to be honest, I haven't been thinking about my near future because I like to just focus on the present, as my priority is to focus on finishing the semester strong and graduate. After graduation, life after school, the next steps will come and the next chapter of my life will unfold. The best is yet to come.
Okay, so for everyone who doesn't know me, my name is Alain Gonzalez. I am 22 years old and I am from Belize. I major in civil engineering. I'll be graduating not this spring but summer. I've been in Chi Alpha for about 3 years, starting in fall of 2022. So I want to tell you guys a story of how I accidentally found Chi Alpha. Quotes accidentally. So before coming to America, it was a big perspective change by me. I expected everyone to be like all the shows I grew up watching, just typical white people all around. But there were a lot of international people everywhere, so I fitted right in. But anyways, before I came here, I had 3 destined friends. Because I knew a Belizean girl who was here, and she had a lot of friends. And so I knew I would fit right in with them, mainly because they're Caribbean, like me. So it was the first week of classes, and on Tuesday, I went to the Jamaican club called Jam. It's here at USF, obviously. It was in the MSC and on the 2nd floor, just like Alpha. So after it was finished around 7, I was trying to find the exit, like a typical freshman wondering about the MSC. I walked up to the Chi Alpha banner, the one that you see outside, and I saw Chi Alpha. I'm like, okay, that's definitely some American frat or something. Actually, that's my first time on a college campus in the US too. So, okay, what was that? So Kesha invited me, of course. So I decided to stay. So I stayed because I knew I wanted to be involved in a campus ministry because I grew up Christian. I just didn't know it would have happened so quick and on the first couple of days on campus. So I just had this realization. I'm like, bro, God didn't have a plan for me. Not gonna lie though, It's not even about being in Chi Alpha or whatever ministry I could have been in. It's the fact that I grew a personal relationship with God. I'm coming from a cultural Christian mindset. Actually seeking God for who He is and for myself is the best thing I could have done in my life. So I would like to encourage you all, seek God and know Him for yourself. Being in a godly community like Chi Alpha helped a lot in building my relationship with God. I've learned to trust God in all aspects of my life. Like I have gone through so many setbacks and no's in my life, and even though it was tough, God pulled through in the end, and is setting up my life in the perfect plan He has set for me from I was in my mother's belly. So I want to leave you all with my favorite verse because of the season I'm in right now. It's Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. And so the biggest lesson I've learned in my career here at USF is to trust God with everything. He's going to pull through in the end, and that's a promise to us. And God never breaks His promises. So going back to when I said accidentally, nothing is ever done by accident. It's all God's plan for your life being fulfilled. So Jesus loves you all so much. And believe in that love and trust that He's got you always. Oh, also, I love you guys too.
I'm graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Biomedical Sciences. I've been at USF for 2 years. I'm from Jamaica. Yeah. After graduation, I'm taking a gap year before I go into pharmacy school. Oh, I want to apply pharmacy school, but before I apply, so I guess I'll give background. So before I came to USF, I was in the US for 2 years before I came here, and that was probably the worst 2 years of my life. I was very alone. Don't speak personal. I don't know personal. I was very alone. Don't do that. I had family on my back, but I still felt alone for like 2 years. Okay, skip that part. I don't see what's I have a friend, she's not here anymore. Her name is Haley. Haley was at Chi Alpha. Josie brought Haley to Chi Alpha. Little Josie. She brought me here, and personally, did I like that first? I don't know. I think when I came here, everybody was just so happy, and I was like, why are you guys so happy? Like, everybody was happy. Everybody saying everybody like, okay. So I felt kind of overwhelmed at first, so I didn't really put myself out there because I was like, oh, they're just always so happy. But not why. And for the years that she was here, I was going to Chi Alpha because she wanted me to come to Chi Alpha, so I just came. I didn't really talk to people. I didn't put myself out there. And then she left, and I was alone again. So, yeah. And I was kind of speaking to Alpha that they'll always reach out to you. Rosa, Keisha, Josie. I'll say, even if you like you're so alone, there's always people that they're always on your mind and they'll reach out to you. So when people reach out to you, reach out back. And also my favorite thing I learned from Chi Alpha is that iron sharpens iron. Be very intentional with your friendships. Come out to the comfort zone and take advantage of your friends being a few steps away from you. And the next thing I want everyone to remember is that even when you feel alone, God is always there with you. Even when you feel like no one is there with you, He's always there with you. And I realized over the times I felt so alone and by myself, He would show up for me in ways that I wasn't even able to see until now. So, yeah, bye.
Oh man. First of all, my name is King. I'm graduating this semester with a Bachelor of Science in Biomedical Sciences. So that is like, I'm really excited about that. gonna go by bullet points, like Pastor Steven said on Sunday, but I was like, I really can't do the bullet points. I feel like I can't sum up how I feel, in bullet points. I'll be rambling, yapping, stuff like that. So I decided to write a letter to you all, just to explain how Chi Alpha has impacted my life. So I guess I'm just going to start. So, dear USF Chi Alpha, I do not think you understand the enormous impact that you have made on my life over the course of these 2 years. When I first began my journey at USF, I had just been honorably discharged from military service at the United States Naval Academy due to back-to-back seizures that would consider me unfit for military service. As I stepped onto this campus 2 years ago, my dreams of playing college football were crumbling before my very eyes. The community that I had made in the military was gone. I had no friends. I was nervous about being a regular student outside of playing college sports, and I had no clear direction for my life. However, there was one thing that I knew I deeply desired, and that was a Christian community. It just so happened that one night in the summer semester of 2023, my roommate, Glenn Mims, invited me to one of your summer small groups. I must say I was quite skeptical at first, as some people have said before, but what drew me into your community the most was the people. Everyone was so welcoming and embraced me with open arms, and as I continued to dive deeper, in my first year, I found myself forming a brotherhood every Wednesday night with a group of guys who inspired me, challenged me, and encouraged me to be better. I found myself building relationships that have fostered into close friendships that I would not trade for another opportunity to play college football. They've supported me in my lowest moments and my highest moments, and have helped me to believe that having good friends that truly love and care about you is possible. However, more than that, you have played a major role in developing my passion for discipling other people, walking with them through life as they grow closer with God and discover the greatness that is within them. It is a passion that has contributed to the discovery of my personal purpose and the vision that God has given me for my life. To my graduating class, stay the course. No matter how tough things get in life, do not waver or falter from the path of God. As my grandpa loves to tell me, trust in the Lord with all your heart and acknowledge Him in everything that you do. So as you step into this new season of life, He will lead you into better and brighter things. To the ones that will still be here, steward the vision that Pastor Casey and Pastor Stephen have set before you by continuing to invite others to walk with Jesus. Love one another, cherish each other, and grow together. Of course, make sure to have fun, enjoy friends, stay up late, and live life to the fullest. But above all else, find who you are. Use your time in college as an opportunity to discover the person that God created you to be. You are a gift to the world, and your generation needs you. Job was someone that I often resonated with because of the hardships that I faced when I was honorably discharged from the military. I used to think that my double portion would be success in a college football career. I imagined I would play on national television for everyone to see, but I've come to understand the wisdom I have gained, purpose I have found, and the spiritual family I've come to know and love over these past 2 years is my true double portion, which is proof that God could do more than we could ever ask for, think, or imagine. You are an answered prayer. Thank you for investing in my life. Sincerely, King Benford.
Well, hi guys. My name is Mikayla. I am graduating in the summer with a degree in accounting. So freshman year, I wasn't as involved as I am now. I was living like a freshman. And I didn't get heavily involved in Chi Alpha until senior year. Senior year was a little bit hard for me because I dealt with not one but two family members passing away. But being in Chi Alpha taught me to read through my Bible, let him know that He's always here for me. And I used to be one of those black people that would be like, I'd be like, is he in prayer? I'd be like, I'm praying for you, and I will be in prayer. So Chi Alpha has really taught me to read my Bible, to pray about it. I'm always hearing Rosa, Chi Alpha's on Tuesday, right? Wednesday, small group, hit him up. So it's really great just reading through the Bible now and figuring out what God has in store for me. Thank you guys. Yeah!
Beyonce. I'm graduating with a Bachelor in Science of Health Sciences. After graduating, I plan on taking a gap year, and then after that, applying to PA school, and hopefully I'll be back at USF for PA school. I've been coming to Chi Alpha since my freshman year. Obviously, I was invited by Rosa. But I wasn't really fully involved until my second year. I remember my first time at small group, I was so nervous because I didn't know what it was going to be like. But by the end of the night, I was so happy that I went. I was blessed with the best medium group ever, with the best leaders, Casey and Liz, who would always cheer me on and want me to cry at basically every small grade. I just want to say thank you to all the girls in my small group now for inviting me to your lives and allowing me to lead you. When I was little, I would always pray for siblings because I grew up an only child, and although I didn't get the biological siblings that I wanted, God gave me you guys. He gave me sisters like Ashley, who our friendship basically started because God told me to go sit next to her during fall retreat, and also sisters like Rosa, who is always knocking on my door and swinging my door wide open. He gave me brothers like Riley, who asked me to teach him how to dunk in the middle of the house. And also brothers like T, who's always there to give me a hug whenever I'd be crying after church. One thing that God has taught me about being here is to always persevere and to never give up on hope. Before coming to college, high school was a very, very hard time for me, and for like 3-4 years, I didn't see the point in life. I didn't really want to live anymore. But, oh my gosh. But I'm so happy that I didn't give up and I just continued to go because I was missed out on all of you. And I just want to thank you guys for being my family. And I love you guys so much. And thank you for being part of my life for the past 8 years.
My name is Ruth. You guys don't know me. This is my 4th year, kind of explain the whole story. Anyways, I'm graduating with a double major in health science and Spanish. I'm not Hispanic, yes, I know I look Hispanic, that's why I'm learning it. I'm going to PT school at USF in the fall. Super excited. I won't be able to come to Chi Alpha really on large group or small group, but I'll still try to make it to events, and I'll be down the street, so please come hang out at my apartment. I don't like being alone. Well, I won't be alone. I'm getting married, but I like to say that my first time in Chi Alpha in a back alley. It wasn't really, it was behind Pinnacle, the volleyball courts, but it kind of is, because it's like, there's dumpsters. Anyways, the first person I ran into was Steven. I was literally just walking back there and they were doing like a volleyball event. I met him, and then he introduced me to more people. And honestly, I kind of met my people when I left. I was in Casey's small group for like a couple weeks. I just was really uncomfortable with I was like, why are all these people like talking about how they're feeling? And like always talking about how they're feeling and sharing with each other, because I don't do that. So I left. Freshman year was kind of crazy. I was very, very involved in club soccer, and that was like my entire identity. But then spring, I just kept seeing Casey everywhere on campus. Like literally everywhere I went, it was like, oh, there's Casey, oh, there's Casey. And then I just felt like God was telling me like to come back to Chi Alpha, and so I did. I came back alone this time. My friends did not come back with me as much, and so I just started trying to get more involved. Really just trying to make my faith mine instead of just my parents, which is really hard for me. But then Steven asked me to be on the worship team. I joined Cat's small group the next year, and honestly, the rest is history. Like just the things that God has done in my life over the last couple of years has been unbelievable. Like just the fact that like I can't even say that I have a relationship with Him, and the fact that guys, we can pray out loud. Like I never have done that freshman year. And just the beautiful friendships that I've made. I'm so grateful for just everything that Kyle has given me. And even like random things, like a healthy relationship with sports. Like, it's such a weird thing, but just everything. Just a couple thank yous that I want to give Casey and Steven. Obviously, just for pouring into me and just believing in me when I did not really believe in myself. I want to thank Kat, who's not here, but Rebecca can tell her. She just did so much for my spiritual walk. More than I think she even knows, but just like showing me how to be vulnerable, that it's okay to feel, it's okay to share with others, and let other people pray for you, and let other people be part of your life and understand what's actually going on. And I want to say thank you to Renata too. I always wanted a sister, and I have 4 little brothers, but honestly, like, you are the little sister that I ever had, and just been such a blessing in my life. Just someone to talk to, someone to cry with, someone to laugh with, an amazing roommate. And so I'm just so grateful for everything you've done in my life. And the small group that I got to lead last year with Amani, just so special to me, such a special group of girls. And the small groups that I've been able to be a part of. I'm already over time, what am I saying? And Jose Angel, my amazing fiance. And I'm so grateful for it. Just to leave you with something, I would just say that your faith is your own. It's not your parents, it's not your small group leaders, it's not your friends, it's your own. So just make it your own. Just follow God with all your heart, because He loves you so much, even when you don't see that He's there. And even if you don't feel like He's there, like, He's always right by your side. So, yeah. Love you guys.
My name's Liz, if you don't know. I'm graduating with a degree in both political science and communication. But yeah, thank you. I've been involved in Chi Alpha for 4 years. I know, I'm ancient. You can call me Grandma if you want to. You can call me Grandma. I've had the honor and privilege of serving as a worship leader since freshman year and a small group leader for 3 years. I got a front row seat to Chi Alpha's first fully on-campus year, thanks COVID, and over the years have been able to see new events that are now tradition, experience shifts in culture, meet and say goodbye to so many friends, and of course, see the way the Lord has insanely multiplied our community year after year. So here we go. Many of us could probably ditto the fact that there's so much to love about being in Chi Alpha here at USF. One of the core things, of course, is the community. How welcoming it is, the deep friendships built, etc. From recording podcast episodes to hanging at Argos way too long, movie nights and Just Dance, to playing or supporting intramurals. My time as a student in Chi Alpha has not fallen short of fond community moments that I cherish forever. There's the way that the Lord moves in every large group service and small group night that will never cease to amaze me. But tonight I want to emphasize and love on the way Chi Alpha's discipleship and accountability has shaped my walk with the Lord and life forever. Woo! I remember one of my first one-on-ones with Casey freshman year like it was yesterday. We're sitting outside the bookstore, I'm yapping about how college is going and my time in high school, and she point blank begins to ask questions about how I feel about myself and my achievements and where I feel I get my value from. I'm shocked and appalled, as no one has ever asked me those types of questions before, and I begin to discover for the first time in my life that I have a deep-rooted fear of failure and belief in a lie that I'm valued for what I do and not who I am. Don't look at people like that, look at you guys. As the year continued and further years came and went, I had moments with our beloved pastors, Casey and Steven, time and time again, where I was asked probing questions and realized things about myself or what I was doing that truly initiated further processing with the Lord and growth in my character. A big aspect I see when I look at my close friendships over the years are the deep conversations where they ask me that hard question, challenge my thoughts or actions, or promise to keep me accountable in something I wanted to fix. And I'm not gonna lie, these moments stung. I mean, stung at times, because sometimes I had realizations about my imperfections or something I did wrong that were very hard to swallow. But I wouldn't be standing before you here tonight as the person I've become and are still becoming if it wasn't for the Lord's good grace in transforming us and placing people in my life to get me thinking about these things and help me grow to be all He's called me to be. So thank you, my XA family, for all you've been to me. On a final note, because my time is definitely coming to an end, something God taught me in my time here is to take every opportunity to grow in Him, and specifically to use my voice for His kingdom in whatever ways He says. He completely transformed this shy girl who wouldn't even order in the drive-thru. Actually, that's true, I would literally cry if my grandpa would ask me to. He didn't know that. To an extroverted disciple for His kingdom, because I said yes to the empowerment from His Spirit that He freely offers. As I've surrendered my life to Him and truly trusted that He'll guide and mold me for the better, He has made me someone I never imagined I'd be and called me to things I never pictured myself doing. I stand before you today ending my time as a student and fully committed to doing the Chi Alpha internship next year. That's only because I'm choosing to obey the call He placed on my life, trusting that He who began a good work in me will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. And I urge each one of you to do the same. Love you!